Hi friends, happy Friday. Welcome to a new vlog. My partner is working all weekend, so I will just be here by myself doing stuff. I did take quite many days off of filming. Just my depression was telling me mean things about my channel, my videos, my content, and everything. So I decided to take a step back, reevaluate, and make some changes. So here we are. Not any changes that you guys will probably notice, but changes up here in the way that I think about my channel. So yeah. This weekend, I am planning on finishing the 2 books that I'm in the middle of and also doing some crocheting. I started crocheting 2 days ago, I think, 3 days ago, and really enjoying it. I'm definitely focusing on getting the basics down, just like how to do stitches, how to do chains, how to do single stitches, all that kind of stuff, and then I'll move on to actually making stuff. But my intention is, I'll pop some inspiration up on the screen, but I want to make stuff like this, use it as decor, also learn how to do clothes, stuff like that. So I'm excited to get into that, and I also eventually want to get into felting. Let's talk about what I'm reading, because that is kind of going to be my focus for the weekend, as it is most weekends. I am 14% of the way through The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. This is the second book in the Crowns of Nyxia series. First book being The Serpent and the Wings of Night. First book was a 5-star, and so far I'm really enjoying this 14% that I've read. This is about a girl, I can't remember what her name is, but she is the princess. She is the adopted daughter to the vampire king. In this world, there's like a bunch of different types of vampires, and in the first one, there is a tournament that's held, I think it's like every century or something like that, and the person that wins the tournament gets granted a wish by their goddess, and her wish is to have vampire abilities without having to go through the process of like changing. And there is a romance, and stuff has progressed since that one. I will say that like there isn't necessarily anything crazy about this series. It's very like fantasy romance-esque. If you're familiar with fantasy romance, none of the twists or anything are going to be that shocking to you, but Carissa Broadbent's writing is just a step above, I have found. It's very accessible, but it's also very nice to read. It's very lyrical and beautiful. The way that she describes her world, you can tell, is very thought out, and her characters are very well thought out and just interesting. I find that they have very real characteristics. They feel very real, and her romances always kind of get me. So I'm definitely enjoying the world. I'm on the last book in her other popular series, and that series is also very good, but I'm definitely enjoying this one more. So I plan on finishing that one. And then I also am a little bit, maybe 15 to 16% of the way through Shadow Princess. This is some number of way through, I think it's the fourth or third, I think it's the fourth book in the Zodiac Academy series. I'm definitely not liking this as much as I was. I feel like it's being dragged out a lot, and I'm starting to see a lot of the issues with it. Like, I saw the issues before, but I was able to kind of gloss over them because I was sort of in the mood. But having read the Play to Prisoner series and this series, it just makes the issues more glaring, the writing issues more glaring, the lack of plot, and the fact that they use plot twists at the end to carry the story along is really annoying, because then you are reading the 700-page book that nothing happens. And yeah, I'm just kind of getting to the point where I'm over it, and it'll be a gamble to see if I continue the series after this one. So those are kind of the 2 things I'm reading, and then I'm probably going to listen to the audiobook for The Daughter of Death and Dawn, A Daughter of Death and Dawn, something like that. This is the 3rd book in that other Carissa Broadbent series. I gave the first one 4 stars, gave the second one 5 stars. It's a really good series, fantasy romance. It's about a girl, a sex slave. She gets out of that situation. She joins the Order, which is like a group of people that have special powers. And in order to become part of the Order and like use them for the reasons that she joined in the first place, she has to become an apprentice for someone. She apprentices with Max, who's the other main character and the love interest. And like it goes from there. It's definitely way more than that, and I would say the second book is the strongest so far in the series. And like I said, Caressa Broadbent's writing is just spectacular, so I'm going to probably listen to the last book in that series, the trilogy. I believe it's going to be a trilogy. I think that's the last one, and it's the third one. I have the audiobook for it, and I'm excited to get into it. The ending of the second one was spectacular, so those are going to be my priorities as far as reading. Watching, I need to catch up on Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm still looking for a K-drama. I have been watching several over the past couple of days, and I just haven't really been able to get into any of them. I did start Doom at Your Service, which I was enjoying, but I haven't found anything that grips me as much as Business Proposal did, which I watched a couple of weeks ago, and I was just in love with it, and I've been looking for something to capture that essence since then, and I haven't found anything. So if you have any recommendations that are like Business Proposal, definitely let me know, because I'm kind of struggling. Probably going to continue Doom at Your Service just because that's the one that I've enjoyed the most of all of the ones that I found. We may or may not talk later, but my plan for the rest of the day is I have a meeting in 20 minutes, and then the rest of the day I have some work stuff to do, and then I'm probably going to crochet, video game for a couple hours, and then get back into reading. So that's that. 20 something. That was worth it. So this one is like a sweet. Yeah. So, all right. Well, talk to y'all later. Have a good weekend. Let me know if you're doing anything. All right.
about me, I was censored, and I will not be silenced. I was doing a poor British accent, and then I looked it up, and he's British.
I am going to burn my One Direction tickets. My favorite hashtag to come out of this was hashtag...
just put my set back on from Olive & June, and I know I say this every single time, but Olive & June has the best press-on nails. These are the exact same nails that I used a couple weeks ago when they popped off. They lasted like 3 weeks, and I didn't lose any of them for a long time. I'm really rough on my nails, and I've noticed that the shorter length of the Olive & June lasts a lot better, even though I prefer the longer ones. The shorter last a long time. And I know it's August, which means it's fall, it's spooky time, but I love these flowers so much, and I'm gonna keep using them until I can't anymore. The only thing with Olive & June is, like, this could just be a me problem, but I'm really bad about sizing. I accidentally ripped my cuticle with the glue, but I'm really bad about sizing the nails. So even I'm bad at the sizing, and they still look pretty good, especially from like afar. Like, I'm really bad with my thumb. But yeah, super recommend Olive & June. Not sponsored, obviously, but if they wanted to, I would rave about them all the time. But yeah, so I just put this set back on. These were the limited edition, so I did end up getting multiple sets, and then I'll just reuse them until I actually can't anymore. So that's them. Okay, this is just a very little thing, but something I love in romances is when one, like, they're enemies, and each of them thinks that the other, like, finds the other scary or, like, disgusting or whatever. So one character did the other character wrong. And, like, if you're familiar with fantasy romance, you probably can guess, like, the twist or whatever. But the character that did this character wrong is, like, has to interact with them in a, like, touching way, and they're, like, touching them, and they're like, oh, I can feel that they're scared and their heart rate is going. I'm like, no, bitch, it's because they want to bang, they're in love with you, shut the fuck up and kiss.
Narrated by Esther Wayne and Dan Kelly. Prologue. Tell me, little butterfly, what would you do for love? The woman knows the tower now. Her friends beg her not to go. Wait one more day, they say. If the guards don't kill you, then the storm will. What's one more day, they say. After all of this. What's one more day? She would have laughed if she wasn't choking back sheer rage. One more day is 24 hours, 1,440 minutes, 86,000 seconds of torture for the man trapped within those walls. The storm is a monster. It is so dark she can barely see. The white tower of Elizabeth lit only in garish blue white flashes as lightning cracks the night. Good
morning, friends. Let's talk while I make my coffee. It is 8:40. My mom is coming over like 9:30, 10. My partner is working, and I wasn't able to go to sleep last night until like 2 o'clock. I'm very much an early sleeper. Bean, did you just throw up? Okay, we had a little incident with some cat throw up. So, I am very much an early sleeper. I am in bed by 9:30, probably asleep by like 10, 10:30 every night. Whether it's like a work week or the weekend, it doesn't matter. But last night I just could not tell my brain to shut the hell up. So I read, I think yesterday I got like maybe 100-ish pages into the Starkhurst, Ashes of the Starkhurst King, or whatever it's called. And then I am now like 50-60% of the way through. Like, I really knocked a lot of reading out while I was supposed to be sleeping, and I'm very much enjoying it. I really like the first one, obviously. I gave it 5 stars, and this one is very good as well. I'm loving a romantic relationship, and just like the expansion of the world is fascinating. I will say, my one gripe, series or whatever, she drops you into the world and there's not much explanation, which is what she does in her other series as well. And it's like fairly common with fantasies to do that, which it's like not a big deal because you kind of pick it up as you go. I'm still very much like picking it up as I go, because in the first book of the other series, you're dropped in there, like you're right in the thick of it, and you kind of have to figure it out. In this one, it was very much like an isolated story. She's very much like in her own kingdom, dealing with things that aren't like politically based or world based or anything like that. So knowledge of the world wasn't completely necessary. And now it's like expanded. You kind of have to know like what the hell is going on. And that is certainly an adjustment for me, but I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I ate that shit up last night and I'm excited to get into it. Like I said, my mom is coming over. I got so many coffee grinds in my coffee. My mom is coming over today to do some laundry and hang out with me. We are on the last episode of Ultimatum Queer Love. If you are wondering, Mal is an absolute dreamboat, 100%. From what we have seen, the editing and all that, wow, amazing person. Tiff seems like such a sweetheart, just in a toxic relationship. Some stuff has come out since the season aired that I know about. Very sad. What else am I thinking? Ozzy, I want to get therapy just so freaking bad. And Mal and the blonde, hottest couple in existence. I know they're like really good friends. They're like hottest friend couple in existence. They're so, oh, also Vanessa can choke. But the main love triangle that I won't like divulge, you can tell by the cover of the show, but I'm not like super into it. Like, I find one half of the couple kind of boring, and I'm very much a commitment person, and I believe that your love for someone in the beginning is very much infatuation, and then as you sort of go through the passage of time and experience hardships together and go through rough things together, you find out how your love actually is. And so one half of the love triangle to me is a little bit boring, a little bit like over dramatic, a little bit like infatuation but they think it's love sort of situation. And then the other half is just like so kind, so caring, so understanding, so like in love with their partner. And other than that, I feel like last night when I was laying in bed I had so much that I wanted to say, and now I can't think of a single damn thing. I do have lunch with my dad tomorrow and my stepmom, so tomorrow I'll probably be wrapping the vlog up today. I know it's getting quite long anyways, but so I'm super enjoying what I'm reading, excited to finish Queer Love, and probably I think I'm gonna try to convince her to watch Sex and the City with me, because I have never watched it. I don't know if she's ever watched it, but I want to try it, and watching stuff with her always makes it way better. So I'm gonna try to convince her to watch Sex and the City with me and see how we feel, and maybe I'll like give you guys a review of the first episode if we end up watching it. I know it's like super old, but it's really popular and I know a lot of people like it, so I'm hoping that I like it too. I watched the Carrie Diaries with what's his name, the really hot guy that dated Vanessa Hudgens, that's kind of a dick. I liked that a lot. I've watched, it was like canceled after one season and I liked it a lot. I've watched that one season like a bajillion times, but I don't know like the comparison of like vibes. Obviously I know Sex and the City is like not set in the 80s. It's not like so teenagey. I know the vibes are gonna be different, but I'm curious. So I'm gonna try to convince her to watch that with me. She usually is like, you know, fine with whatever. So like I just tell her random shit. I'll be like, hey, do you want to watch this video of this person reacting to this drama that you know nothing about and this person that you've never seen before? And she's like, hell yeah, put it on. So that is that. I'm going to probably edit until she gets here.
You okay?
And 29 and 31. It was Kurt Harrington. A mistake I made when I was